Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a full face of makeup that is exciting me right now. So things that I am just feeling the pull to use. You know how sometimes you try something, you like it, but you don't feel this pull to keep using it? That is not this group of products. These products are things that are either new or things that I have rediscovered in the last few weeks that I'm just really wanting to continue using. So that's what we're going to be doing today. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope you'll subscribe and let's get started. All right, let's get into it. I have already done my skincare, my sunscreen, all those things. And I think I'm going to skip primer today because the foundation we're going to use, I have found I like it really with just my skincare underneath it. I don't feel that I really need any type of priming product with it. So let's start with the foundation that I'm talking about. And it's this one from Makeup Forever. This is the HD Hydra Glow. If you saw my video where I tried this out, it was a week or two ago, you would have seen that I loved this initially, and I have continued using it since then, and I have to tell you, I still absolutely love this. I think this is definitely a good formula. If you have normal skin or a dry skin type. If you have oily skin, after wearing this for a while, I could see where this might be a bit too much on you if you have pretty oily skin type. But if you don't, and your skin is pretty normal, this is such a beautiful formula. And it is also extremely long wearing. So what I was wanting to share with you is about a week and a half ago, I was out of town and I brought this foundation with me. This is the foundation that I took. And basically all day, one of the days we were out of town, I was in houses. I was looking at houses. And I'm not going to get into that today, but basically we are in the process of trying to move. So anyways, there's a lot up in the air that I don't know yet, so that's why I'm not sharing it, but I'll talk about it at some point. So basically, I spent an entire Sunday in houses, in and out of houses. I put my makeup on at like 8 o'clock that morning, and I didn't get home until like 10 o'clock at night. I didn't touch my makeup, I did nothing to it, and this is the foundation that I wore. It wore so beautifully. By the end of the day, when I went to take my makeup off, I was absolutely floored by how good it still looked. I mean, of course, it looked a little bit worn. I wore it for 8 to 10, that's 12 hours, and did not touch it. I was shocked. I was shocked, and I was just so impressed by it. Every time I went in a house, I would go, obviously I was looking in the bathrooms, and I would be in the bathroom and I would look in the mirror, and I just kept thinking all day long, oh my gosh, that foundation looks so good. I just couldn't get over it. And then by the end of the day, I really was surprised because even though it looked good during the day, even after 12 hours, it still looked good. So if you think this type of formula is something that would work for your skin type, I would suggest you try this one. And I can't say enough good things about it. I've continued using it since, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. And I wear the shade 1 in 06 in this, and it's a pretty good shade match for me. I was actually so happy that I decided to wear this foundation that particular day, because I was thinking that morning when I was getting ready, oh, this is going to be a great day to test this out, like really test this out, because I knew I was going to be gone. I was going to be outside, inside, sunglasses on, sunglasses off, in all different kinds of lighting, and I knew I could really see and truly, truly test it out, and I had no complaints, not one. If you're wondering if I'm still liking it, yes, I absolutely love it, and I would definitely recommend. All right, moving on to color corrector. I'm definitely going to use the new one from Caliray. This is the Hideaway corrector. And this is a very new product to me. I've only had this for about a week, but I am in love with it, truly. So we're going to use it again. If you saw my video on this, I did a really in-depth review of this. I compared it with swatches to some other things in my collection, but this is another incredibly good formula. The way it looks on the under eyes, it blends in seamlessly, it's hydrating, it's lightweight, it's great. I highly, highly recommend checking it out if you are looking for a product like this. Like, do you see that? Now, I got one that is slightly darker than my skin because I really want to correct the discoloration, and then I'll use a little bit of concealer over the top. But they are actually marketing this as like a color correcting concealer, so depending on what shades you get, you might be able to get away with just using this on its own. Like, do you see how quickly that just blended in? It is nice, and not only does it blend in quickly, the wear on this is wonderful. It is a very thin texture, it's very hydrating, kind of a serum-y formula, but it does not crease badly on me. I am so incredibly impressed with this. I am going to go in with concealer now, and this is actually the concealer I've really been wanting to use again. It's not in my everyday makeup drawer this month, but I keep thinking about it, and it's the Catrice True Skin Serum Concealer, and I have the shade, I always forget, Cool Cashmere. And it's a really good shade match for me. And I did get recently the new Laura Mercier, the Get Real Flawless Concealer, whatever it's called. And I like that. I don't love it. I want to love it, but I don't yet. Unless maybe it's just one of those things I'm gonna have to keep using it. Sometimes I don't fall in love with products immediately. It takes a minute. But today, I don't know, I was in the mood to use this one. And it's just a really great shade match for me, so. I can't believe it is March already. By the time this video goes up, at least it will be March. I can't believe it. I feel like February has gone by really, really fast. And I also just saw, maybe it was yesterday or the day before, the dates for the Sephora sale this time are like April the 5th, I think, is when it starts. So the Sephora sale will be here before you know it. All right, moving on to bronzer. Now, this is a product that is not even close to being new. I have had this for such a long time, but it's in my everyday makeup drawer this month, and I have rediscovered how good this is. The Fenty Cream Bronzer in Butter Biscuit. This stuff, first of all, the undertone of this color is perfection. Of all my cream bronzers, I think the undertone of this has got to be the absolute best. It is truly neutral. It has just enough warmth without being too warm, and it has a little bit of a coolness to it, but not like a contour, you know? And I remember a year or two ago, I loved this. Like, I used it all the time. This was like my #1, and then I don't know, I just kind of got away from using it, but I have fallen back in love with this in the last few weeks. This was another product I took with me on that trip I was talking about, and I loved it. Loved it. I've also been loving this brush with cream bronzer, which this is not a brush that screams cream bronzer to me, but I saw Nikki LaRose using hers for a cream bronzer, and so I figured I would try it, and I've actually been loving it. It's a fluffier brush, so it gives you a much more like diffused look as you're applying a cream bronzer or cream blush, but I've been loving it. All right, moving on to blush. Do you even need to ask what we're using? Of course, I'm gonna use the new Patrick Ta blushes. I brought 2 of these over here. I have just enough and not too much. I might mix them because I feel like I would probably like these 2 colors mixed together. But definitely not a shock because you guys know how I am with Patrick Ta blushes. So I'm gonna start with not too much. And I'm using the powder. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of this lightly. I could use his brush, but I'm just gonna use this brush that I have sitting here. This is the Real Techniques blush brush. It's very fluffy, so it gives a very light application of whatever you're applying with it. I mean, this color, I just love it. I know some people have been saying they wish it wasn't so pink. I mean, I definitely get where they're coming from. I don't mind it because I like a rosier color, but yeah, I mean, it definitely does have some pink to it, but I personally like the color. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit of Just Enough, which is the pink. And I'm gonna apply this right here. I would also recommend in general with his formula, especially his powders, unless you want a lot of pigment, I would apply it with a really fluffy brush, like something like this, or his blush brush, the powder end works really well. I wouldn't use something super dense just because you may get more pigment than you're wanting. All right, now let's see what, oh, actually I'm gonna use the light side of this brush. This is the N17 from BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose, and I'm gonna get some of the cream of Not Too Much and apply that. This is a really, really nice brush for cream blush also. That's what I've been liking it for the most, because you can really be a little bit more precise with it. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm not gonna add the pink cream, I don't think, because I want to keep it a little bit more on the neutral side, but I love them, love them. All right, for powder, I've really been enjoying this one from NARS. This is not new, but this is the light reflecting powder in just the translucent color. And I have really been enjoying this, especially if I'm gonna set under my eyes. I've really been liking this powder. I think it's just because it's very, very thin, lightweight. And I don't know, I'm really picky with powders under my eyes, especially. I don't know. I just find a lot of the times, a lot of powders I don't like under my eyes, even if I like them on other areas of my face. I don't often like them on top of concealer, but I've been using this one the last few weeks because this is in my everyday makeup right now, and I have just really been enjoying it. All right, I'm gonna fill in my brows. I am just gonna not film this part because nothing has changed. I am still loving this product from Anastasia, the brow powder. So I'm gonna do this and I'll be back and we'll move on to eyes. All right, let's move on to eyes. I am just dying to use this palette again. This is the new Dior Backstage Smokey Essentials palette. I don't know what it is, but I am absolutely just smitten by this palette. I don't know why, but I just love it. I just love it. I want to use it again. I'm going to start, I guess, with this shade again. This is the shade Beige. I'm not really sure what I want to do on my eyes, but I just really want to use this palette again. I don't know. This is the most excited I've been for a palette in a little while. So I'm putting that just kind of all over both eyes really lightly. And then I'm going to take this shade right here, which is Soft Rose. And this one, it's kind of a rose, kind of like a taupey shade. And I'm going to apply this in my crease. I know when I used this palette before, a few of you said in the comments that you either were going to buy it or you already bought it and you've also been loving it. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. I really love the color story. It's neutral, but it's not the standard neutral palette that you see. It's a little bit different with the mauvier tones in it. I think it's really pretty. I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is called Mauve. It's one of the matte shades in this palette, and I am gonna put this in the outer corner of my eye. I don't think I used this shade when I used this palette before, but it's a really pretty tone, especially if you have green eyes, hazel eyes, colors like this. Really pop. All right, I must have had something on my brush when I went in with that color on this side, because it looks more smoky over here than it does over here. It looks more true color on this side. Oops, must have had something left over on that little brush. All right, I'm gonna try to buff some of this color away right here. I'm just taking a powder, so this is the NARS Soft Matte Powder, on this brush and trying to kind of buff that color away a little bit so I can add maybe a little bit more of that purple over here, because right now they look two different colors. I don't know if that helps. Let me add a little bit more of this purple. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Note to self, look at your brushes before you go in and use them. Make sure there's no color left. All right, I really want to use this eyeliner. This is one of the new Persona liners, but this is the shade Graphite. So if you saw the video where I tried a bunch of new products, I did not use this shade. I used the other two, which are Stone and Chocolate. This is more, it's kind of a gray, but like a cooler brown also. I think it could kind of swing either way. I'm gonna apply it, I think, and then kind of smoke it out a little bit. And now I'm gonna take a little pencil brush. This is from BK Beauty. It's the 210. And I'm just gonna kind of go over it, make it look really kind of smoky. I have been very, very impressed with these Persona eyeliners. They wear well, they're creamy, but they set down. And I love all three of these new shades. They are so pretty. All right, then I'm gonna take just a little bit of the black in the palette with my 208 brush, and I'm gonna basically just kind of stamp this along the lash line, like basically where I've got that liner applied. I'm just stamping it there as close as I can get to the lashes. All right, I'm gonna take this shade here and this shade here, so Mauve and Soft Rose, so a little bit of both. And I'm gonna put this on the lower lash line. I'm trying to decide if I want to add anything to the eyes. I might take a little bit of the light white shade here. It's called Satin. Just with my finger, just put a tiny bit of that shade like right in the center of the lid. Not a lot, just a little. And then I'm gonna go over and just kind of blend it a little, just to get a little bit of like brightness right there. Now I'm gonna go back in with graphite again, and I'm gonna put this in the waterline. I kind of already did it a little bit earlier when we applied it on the top lash line, but I'm gonna add a little bit more now. All right, for mascara, I had to go with this. This is the Lash Xtndr in the shade Brown. I kind of thought I might need to go with a black mascara for this, but I really want to use this mascara. This is so good. When I used this in the video where I tried a bunch of new makeup, I really liked it, but I was curious how it would be to remove and how it would wear. This wore beautifully, no flaking, no smudging, and it came off so easily. I was shocked. Honestly, I was shocked. It came off probably one of the easiest mascaras I've removed in a while. So I am definitely a fan of this one. It gives a lot of length. All right, for lips, this was kind of tough. There were a few things I was thinking about, but the lip liner that I've been reaching for pretty much daily is this one. It's Deep Taupe from Anastasia. I really, really like this color. For a lip product, first thing I'm going to use, I think, is the Taupe blush. I have not used this on my lips yet. But that color, even as a lip product, so good. So, so good. I pulled out this e.l.f. gloss because I've really been loving these lip oils from e.l.f. But I don't know if that's what I want to use. Let me actually go grab something else. Okay, I rediscovered this as well. This is from Taupe. It's not a new product, but I have been using it the last few days. I forgot how good this is. This is his gloss in She's an Influencer. So this is not the plumping gloss. This is just like his original glosses. So they don't plump, but I forgot how good this gloss is. And it literally goes with everything. It has shimmer in it, but it's like all different colors. It's pink, gold, just different shades. And it's so pretty. So pretty. All right, you guys, that is everything for this video. This was so much fun. I love doing this. Some of these products, all of them really, but several of them are really just, I'm really loving them right now. That foundation, like I said, I'm telling you, if you have a normal skin type, dry skin type, even if you have combination skin, I think you would love this foundation. If you have super oily skin, it might be too much for you, but I'm telling you, it is so beautiful. So beautiful. And I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with this. This palette from Dior, I just love it. I love it. I want to keep using it, and I like what we did on the eyes today. It's a little bit more cool toned than I usually do, but I love it. I can't recommend this palette enough. I think it's stunning if you like the colors. And of course the Taupe blushes, I said it in my review, this is going to be a new favorite. I already know this, not too much. I even love it on my lips. So good. So, so good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will have everything listed in the description box and linked for you. I do use affiliate links that support my channel when you shop through them. I hope you'll subscribe if you have not already, and make sure to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.